I genuinely love being a mom.
I think the hardest
Even
part
with all the
is
nasty
the mom is, like, the
the mom
mom
guilt.
guilt and the,
Yep,
like, the mental load of it, I guess, because it's
yep,
like, I always feel like I'm gonna do something wrong, especially
yep,
homeschooling. I'm like, "Are we doing enough? Is she getting enough?" Especially with her middle school now, like, "Is this enough education? Like, or do I need to do more?" And I realize it is, like, I know deep down that, like, what we're doing is fine because
yeah,
genuinely, as long as a child has math, English, and reading, like, it's not really the rest of it isn't going to make much of a difference as you go on in
yeah.
life. But it's like every day, like, I feel like I am letting my kids down, and it's not just for homeschool, but it's like everything. Like, that's the
Yeah,
hardest part
right.
about being a mom is like,
Yeah, I struggle with the mom guilt so much, especially like with like when I get overstimulated and I'm like just ready to snap and I'm
mhm,
just kind of like they're are they gonna know are they gonna remember me about the yelling? Are they gonna remember me like taking them to do fun things? Or like what are they gonna take away from their childhood type of thing? And it's definitely one of those things where I'm like, I wonder like, do I do enough? Like, am I letting them be on their screens too much or too little? Or am I giving them the experiences that they need? I mean, I feel like I feel like every mom feels this way. Like every mom has that mom guilt. Like, I think it just comes with being a mom. Like, are we enough? Do we do enough? Can I do better? And I think it's great when you talk to other moms because they all feel the same way, and you learn that you're doing an amazing job at what you're doing, and you're gonna have bad days. We all have bad days,
we
but there's
do.
gonna be so many good days filled in between that, those bad days, they're not gonna remember the bad days. Um, there are so many days where I'm just like, I'm a horrible mom, and, like, there'll be days where I'll, like, message Jeremy, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm failing in every aspect. Like, the house clean enough? Am I making a nutritional meal? Like, am I, you know, whatever it may be, I feel like I question something every day. No matter if it's the same thing or something different. Like it's always there. And I guess like you're doing like I don't know, like if you're a mama listening, you are doing an amazing job. And it's okay to have bad days. It's okay to maybe lose your cool. Obviously, like find ways to help you not do that. I'm the worst. Like I've been learning over the last couple years that, you know, I have thought it was anxiety, but I really do think it's ADHD and I just get overstimulated and then I just I didn't know she was in here. Is that who you were waving at earlier?
Yeah, she kept peeking around the wall.
Couldn't see her. Stinker, but yeah, so, finding, there could be something underlying that, like, if you have a short fuse or if you are depressed, you're not alone. Like, I guess that's the biggest thing is you're not alone. Find someone who you can connect with, who you can share, who is not going to judge you. Because it really truly makes a difference when you can talk to somebody about your feelings and they're not going to be like, "What? She just called her kids a fucking crotch goblin, like she's a horrible mom," or like, hey, like I want to throat punch my child, and you're not going to get judged for it. Like you're going to just be like, hey, I understand that under like that sentiment of like you are just absolutely fed up, done, overstimulated kind of thing. Like let's plan a last night out. Let's plan something to get out of that headspace, and
Yeah.
having that connection is so important.
Well, and finding your tribe, but also finding ones that have similar kids' ages helps so
Yep,
much because I think I've been struggling with the preteen thing, but then I've been talking to other moms at the homeschool group that have girls the same age and they have the exact same stories. And I'm
the
like,
same
okay,
stories.
so it's not my
Yeah,
child isn't just this like awful
a
person.
monster.
It's
Yeah,
just the shit that we're
it's just
going
the
through right
age.
now.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's so important because, like, things that I like are dealing with Devlin, like his that age 9, like a lot of it other people are dealing with, and then with babies and toddlers, like it's all the same. Like we're all going through the same things, and then if it's not the same, you have someone you can chat with to determine if that's something you need to go check out. Like you can go determine if you need
Mhm.
to seek medical attention or advice or things like that. So you know, you have to use your community. You have to use your tribe. I mean, the saying of "it takes a village" is true, and you shouldn't do it
This is the
alone.
village
And if
we're
you're
talking about. I think back
yeah,
in the days it used to be like family and having people within your house, but the village now is, especially when you have babies, I think is having
yeah,
people that are going through it at the same time.
yeah,
Because it's not like they're raising your kids, but they can help you raise your kids because they, oh, well, this bottle worked way better, or my child slept better if I had the fan blowing. Like there's these suggestions that you're not going to come up with when you're having a really hard night. And there's just this mom that's like, oh, I had that happening last week. And this is what we did. And
and
it
this is
worked
what
for
we did and it
us.
helped. Yeah. Well, and then, like, just helping your sanity, like, helping you know that, you know, that was one of my biggest things was is, like, I felt so alone, like, I felt like I was doing everything by myself. Was I? Not necessarily, but, like, I didn't have, like, a person like, you know, "Hey, I felt this way too." Or, "Hey, you know what? You seem to be slowly edging over the edge. Why don't you let me take the baby and you go take a shower?" Or go for a quick walk,
Mhm.
like do something. And when you find that community and you find that connection, you find that person who can help you do that, like I said, it really does make a difference. And I, my first, like both of my kids, like when they were born, like we moved shortly afterwards. So, you know, I was really lonely when I had Devlin, my first kid. Like I didn't know anybody. We moved to a special duty assignment. We didn't have, um, like there wasn't other military like spouses or people that I could meet out of that way. And so when I had Claire, it was very different. Like we moved to Bragg shortly. She was like 9 months after we moved. So like I was able to connect with other moms who had similar age
Mhm.
kids. And it was like, oh, okay, it wasn't just me, or oh, like that makes sense that she's doing that at this age. And I'm, you know, and boys and girls are different too. Like every kid is different. So it's like a new experience every time you have a child. But having that connection is it really is important. And it does take a
I remember
village.
seeing that tribe in action when we were at Bragg with the Deployed Love, like, coffee chats. Those moms
Yeah.
that come in, they're afraid, and they're like, "I want coffee and I wanna eat, but I can't eat because I have a baby," and we'd just be like,
Oh,
"Here,
and that's the
I'll take
thing though, is
that."
I I am at that stage where I'm not having any more kids and I don't want any more kids, but
Yeah.
I am like baby fever. Like I want to snuggle. I want to see the joy in their faces when they are like learning a new thing and things like that. And so like my friend that I've made here, she has a 2-year old and we have become BFFs. Like me and her 2-year old are like she gets so excited when she sees me. She like knows what my vehicle looks like. So like we do school pickup. And I'm just like I told her, I was like, just bring me her. Like if you need a break, because she's a stay-at-home mama. And her oldest is 8 and her youngest is 2. So there's a really big age gap between the two. I was like,
Yeah, that
if you
is.
need a break, if you want to go shopping by yourself, bring me her. Like I can handle her for a couple hours. But that was one of my favorite things about coffees, like at Bragg,